In the federal government, there are 3 types of resumes: reverse chronological and combination. And most of the time, those reverse chronological and combination are going to be right now in electronic format. Most federal government agencies have moved to the federal resume as the standard, as opposed to, you might still see some of the references to an SF171 or an OF612. Those are formats within the federal government that were like downloadable, that you could insert your information into. So they might still say, you know, don't let that throw you. You need to be doing a federal resume. Some old school folks that still have an SF171 or OF612 might submit, but federal resume is the way to go. Okay, reverse chronological. So it is very intuitive that is going to be information that's going to be presented in a reverse chronological format, right? It's most commonly what's expected and what's appropriate for the federal government. It can be written in paragraph form or with bullets, okay? You can, when you combine a reverse chronological resume with a combination resume, you can combine functional headings. Those are your skills and achievements within your work experience. But you cannot submit a functional resume. A functional resume will not work. So, for those of you that were in the last session and know what a functional resume is, why will a functional resume not work in the federal government system? Anybody put that together? Do you remember what a functional resume is? Yes.
Well, it's because they want to have time and dates and work history, and functional resume is skills.
That's right. So, functional resume has outlines the bulk of your resume is all about your skills, and you're extracting from all of your experience and putting that in there. You cannot submit a functional resume. Functional resume just will. There's no way it's going to work. You're not going to get qualified for a position that way. So, some people, and I didn't say this when I was talking about the profile, some people really expand their profile. We'll have a profile, and then we'll hit on some key skills there, and we'll make a statement about those skills. But anything that you say about yourself before you get to your work experience or volunteer experience has to be repeated again, because they can't qualify you on anything that you say above that experience. Now, is it important to say it? Absolutely. Because why? You're telling the HR specialist where to look in your resume. And so you would never dream of saying the same thing over and over again in a private sector resume, right? If you did it in one job, you probably would try to say that, you know, try to make a different kind of a statement in another job. In a federal resume, no. Redundancy is okay. You just say it again. So you've got all of these skills, and you've already said that you have them, and then you go and then you say that you have them again, and you have the space. And so if you've had several jobs or several internships and you did the same exact thing, that's fine. Say it again. It's perfectly acceptable and appropriate, and actually, in fact, necessary, because the HR specialist won't intuit that you did it if you didn't say it, just because it's a very similar job from the last job. So you can actually be quite redundant in your federal resume, and it can be helpful for you, which is just, again, totally opposite from the private sector resume. So, experiences must be clearly associated with employment. Electronic resumes, again, I've already mentioned this, there's no graphical emphases that can be used. That's the main consideration.